Good morning, everyone. So this is the makeup for my Friday video that I just did. And what I'm doing here is I am applying some of the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin foundation. It is just so intense. I mean, it's the most full coverage foundation ever. I mean, it can be used as a concealer. And when Kevyn Aucoin sent me their Beauty Elixir oil, it mentioned that I could thin this out using that oil. So that is what I did. I actually just put the oil on the back of my hand and then dipped my brush in it and then dipped it into this foundation. And like I told you yesterday, this is going to be like a comedy skit, but it's not as bad as I thought. And I think there's some things that I have learned from watching myself back. Maybe we can learn together. Is one, I thought when I was putting this on, sorry, goodness, when I was putting this on, I was thinking the whole time right here, this is too dark. This is too dark. And it's because it was so dark when I first put it on. But what you got to remember is you're going to be blending it out, blending it. And so the big mistake that you'll see that I'm going to make here is I went to my lighter foundation. And another thing, like I whined to you yesterday, is in the middle of this video, you'll see me going really close up to the camera and looking at my skin. And my skin was just so, it wasn't even flaky underneath. It was just like, Tammy, I was talking to her and she used the best word. It was like lacy, where it was like it needed to be flaky, but it wasn't. And I had already tried to exfoliate my skin that morning with a washcloth, and I thought I had gotten it. So anyway, as you can see right now, I'm putting on that lighter foundation. I put it under my eyes, and I will put the colors that I use down below. And okay, so now I'm going in with an even, I don't know if it was lighter. I have like 4 different colors, one for concealer and then 3 other colors that I bought when I was trying to get, yeah, this is the concealer color. And see, I think I just went overboard with this. And that is a Smashbox concealer buffing brush that is fabulous. And so I ended up washing myself out right here. So that's a good point, is don't carry your concealer too far every time. See, it's starting to wash out all the warmth in my skin. And another thing I learned with this video is I tried to kind of zoom in a little bit more with my actual camera instead of zooming in more with my editing, tools or whatever. And I think it does better to leave my camera plain and then to zoom in, when I'm editing. And I can't even remember who this was that called, but I was just showing you that this whole episode takes a long time because I'm, doing everything. And what was I doing here? Putting more of that on? My goodness. Oh, I forgot I even did this. So I think this is where I really messed it up right here. It's like I never come back from this. And inside, I was so frustrated at my skin. But I knew if I took my makeup off and I started again, I didn't have any good scrub. I'm out of my Colleen Rothschild. Now, yesterday after that video, I went straight out and bought several because I was so mad that happened. And I realized I haven't been liking my foundation lately, and I think that's what it's been. So anyway, I'm trying to buff that out again. And I remember listening to music yesterday morning, so I'm either singing or talking to Bridget or Chanel. I don't even realize I'm doing this until I watch this back. And so here I am with the Chill Beauty Blender doing it all out. And this, because I put the oil in this foundation and it's already kind of a glowy foundation, I did need to set the entire face. And this is the most fabulous powder brush in the world. It's the La Mer powder brush. And I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way powder all over. And it's like I keep on looking in the mirror and I just, I can remember how I felt. It's a real downer, you know, when you're doing your makeup and you realize basically that you're not going to like it, but you don't know what to do. Okay, and this is the NARS brush with the Hoola bronzer, which I think is one of the best contour bronzers I've ever used. And I'm contouring the end of my nose and around my forehead. Now this is going to change for everyone. You may not need to do around your forehead if you don't have much of a forehead, but I've got plenty. So, and I'm just kind of using it to tighten up my jawline. And okay, this is the Smashbox sheer powder brush. Oh, and I'm using the, I couldn't remember, but it's the MAC Studio Fix powder in NC35, which I think I should have gotten NC37. That does not add quite as much as the Laura Mercier did. Okay, this is the Smashbox angled powder brush with the Laura Mercier Matte Highlight 01. And you guys know it's just, it's not even really like a sparkle highlight. It's more like a highlighting whitish. It lightens up and it gives like a sheen. It's the best. Okay, I was cleaning out my brows, getting all the foundation and powder out of them. And now I'm using that new Bare Minerals blush. And I Beige for Days is what it's called. And you can see I'm using the buildable cheek brush from Smashbox. It's a good blush. It's very good. At this point, I was putting more on than I usually do because I was trying to liven up my face. And now I'm using the Laura Mercier Eye Basics in Buff, which can be worn on its own, really. I probably should have stopped there. But I already had in my mind I was going to use the Tom Ford blending brush, which is awesome for loose pigments. And this is the Loose Pigment Bare Minerals Bare Skin. It is a must-have. Everyone should have Bare Skin and Pebble. And if you like cool tones, Nude Beach is a good one to have. But those should be in your, you know, your collection. They're just good ones. And I learned my lesson not to fluff underneath my eyes. So I just kind of patted that color up underneath my eyes. Just a little bit. You may not want to do that, but I have such a lower eyelid. And then I kind of did an outer V, just made it darker on the edges. Okay, this is my favorite brow product of late. It is the Bobbi Brown Blonde Brow Enhancer Pencil, whatever. It's kind of waxy. I think what I love the most about it is it's, you know, just kind of faint, and I just love the color. I also love the Laura Mercier Ash Blonde. If you would rather have like a true pencil, I really like that one. And then I'm just brushing them out. And I think in this video I used, oh, and that's my frizzy hair. All that new growth gets so frizzy. And I'll, at night, you know, I'll kind of get it unfrizzy, but then when I sleep, it frizzes right back up. Okay, and that is the Benefit Clear Brow Gel. Okay, this was probably my favorite product I used yesterday, and it is the Vibe Lip Liner. It's the one I was telling you about in the video, and it's just beautiful. It's a really good color. And you can see how it's kind of like the MAC. You know, it has a good crisp edge that you can kind of blend in. And I'm doing just the corners of my lips. And I probably should have used a little bit lighter color, but I wanted to use this Tom Ford Bare Peach. It was a little bit peachier than I wanted, so you'll see how I correct that in a little bit. But it's a really pretty, if you like peach lipsticks, that's a good one. The only bad thing about Tom Ford lipsticks is I've learned my lesson to only get a few at a time because they go bad. They don't last like another lipstick would, certainly like a MAC would. Okay, this is the Tom Ford liner pen. And so right here, see how I'm flicking from the bottom up? That gives you a prettier little wing on the end. If I want a chunkier, kind of like guest model wing, then I start on the end. But if I want a prettier flick up wing, I usually start from the bottom and just flick your pen up or whatever, or your brush up. And see, I'm doing, and I think, my eyes are just shaped different and kind of set different, and that's one of the reasons I have a hard time getting both of my liners to look the same. You may not have that problem. So when you see me just kind of going back and forth, that's why. I'm trying to make them look good on the eye and then make them somewhat match. So, okay, that is one of those DHC swabs that I used in my last video, I think. It's already pre-moistened with like an oil, so it's really nice to just take one out and use it and not have to dip it in anything. Or it would be great for on the go too, if you're somebody that puts your makeup on, at work or wherever. It would be a good one. Or for makeup artists. Okay, I was thinking I needed a little something else in my crease, and that is the Bobbi Brown shadow in Camel, I believe. It's a really good, really warm, orangey type brown shadow. If you like those really warm shadows, you would love this. Okay, this was another mistake I made. I should have left it, but I was thinking it needed something more, and I used my Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy. And I love it on the inner corner, but I should not have put it on my lid, because if you go back to my video, it really made the lid way too light. And that's another thing is, I have to get used to doing makeup for a video and then for my, just going out. Okay, this is a really neat product. I don't know if I've shown it to you. It's the Laura Mercier matte lip, pencils or lipsticks, and that was the lightest one. So I used it just to lighten up the middle of my lips. And what I'm doing here is, I felt like my whole look was just so warm. I thought, well, I'm going to smudge out my liner with a cool tone color. So this is MAC Smut with yet another Smashbox brush. And I'm just using that MAC, I think it was Smut. No, it wasn't Smut. It was Print. It's like a bluish gray. It's a real cool gray tone. And so I'm using that just to, smudge out that line and just add a little bit of a cool tone to my eye look. So it wouldn't look, my whole face wouldn't look so warm with that pale, pale under eye and face. Okay, and this is that new mascara. It is pretty fabulous. Brooke and I both love it, but it is not easy to get off. And I put it on my lower lashes the other day, and then it transferred. And it's like, how can a mascara that is so, hard to get off transfer so easily? So this day I used my MAC Extended Play Giga Black and did my lower lashes. Okay, here I am using the Laura Mercier loose translucent with a beauty blender up under my eyes, because I was worried that since I had used that oil that, everything was going to crease and wear off. And I had some things to do yesterday, so I didn't want all my makeup to wear off. Okay, this is another attempt to warm up my face, which I did like. I always like when I do this. It's the MAC MSF in Refined Golden. Okay, these are a new style of lashes for me. They are the Ardell 601. I could not find them online, but I feel certain the main places I buy lashes, Ardell, is Ulta. Ulta has a wonderful selection, and CVS also has a great selection. And several of you have asked me if I've tried the magnetic lashes, and I've been scared to. I just feel like they're not going to work for me. But I did read that the accent lashes and the magnetic were much easier. So I might get those, and maybe we'll try those one day. But I just, after watching Makeup by Tiffany D and Candy, you know, candy. After they couldn't do it, they had a tough time. I was like, ooh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So, Candy Johnson. Okay, so my lashes are on, and I had already cut those. I'd already worn them, so they were cut to fit. I think I had to cut right much off of those. And so I feel better now that my lashes are on, and that one had a little bit of glue squishing out, and even though it's the Duo Dark, I do like to kind of remove the excess. Okay, I'm letting my hair down, and several of you have asked about those little clips that I use, and they are wonderful. You've got to get some. They come in different designs, but I like that leaf design the best, and I bought them from Ricky's Beauty Supply, I believe. I'll put the link down below. And this is me applying the Laura Geller Body Souffle in Tahitian Glow. It is just a must-have product. If you don't have it, you have to. Watch how much better it makes my arms look. Don't forget to go underneath your arms and the backs of your arms where they're whiter, and it just makes everything look so much better. And you can see on my chest, right by my collarbone, I have one of those whelps. My chest has been so angry lately. This is the KMS working hairspray. I'm just kind of fluffing up my hair. I had curled it the night before and slept with it up in one of those coily bobble hair bands. And I have new growth at the top, and so I'm having to spray it back. Let's see what I'm going to do here. Yes, one of my last steps is the MAC Prep and Prime, and this is the Radiant Rose. If you cannot find the Maybelline, this is just as good or better. Okay, this was a big no for me. I tried to get fancy. I wanted to use that oil that Kevin Aquan sent me. I put some on the back of my hands, and I was trying to highlight with it. But what it did is actually remove my makeup right there. Not enough that, and you know, it's hard to fix it because by that time you've done highlight, powder, everything else. So I took my beauty blender and tried to kind of fix it, but even in the video I could tell that it had been removed right there. So don't do that. If you're going to use that for highlight, use it mixed in with something, because you can see right now I'm trying to repair that foundation that I removed. And so I turned off my lights, my Amazon lights, and I left that in so you could see, and then it will take my camera a minute to adjust. And that is it. And here's my precious baby Chanel sleeping with me up here while I'm trying to edit. She likes to sleep on cords. Have a good day. Bye-bye.